like, I wouldn't be mad. Like, if the Lakers went and did the deal like tomorrow, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be like, oh man, the Lakers just messed up. No, not at all. But my problem with that deal is, like, you want AD at the 5. You can't really play Turner at the 4 because that hasn't worked in the past. And he doesn't really want to play the 4. He wants to play the 5. AD wants to play the 4, but he's best at the 5. And the problem is, like, like I see a lot of people that are like, oh, well, you could have AD play the 4 on defense and then play the 5 on offense, stuff like that. And it's like you're neutralizing your advantage in size, right? Because you have a center and you have 2 7-footers. Like, look what happened with Minnesota. They completely neutralized having 2 7-footers because what you're doing is on offense, you're pulling Towns out, right, to shoot the 3. Well, that's what is going to happen with Anthony Davis or Myles Turner, right? So now Myles Turner becomes a wing player on offense. You might as well just go get a wing. You might as well just go get a 6'7", 6'8" guy that could shoot the 3 ball and play defense because Myles Turner can't play defense, and you're also losing the rebounding ability, right? Because now Myles Turner is so far away from the basket. Like, now Anthony Davis has to go and fight for the boards now. Like, you're neutralizing it.
But you're saying that in a situation where you have to bring your other center out, right? But like but you're saying in a situation like us where we don't have any shooters to rely on anyway.
Exactly. Like, so why go get a
center? Because if you had shooters, then you wouldn't need to do that. Exactly. That would be
You'd be fine with AD at the 5. Like, if you could go get 2 or 3 just shooters or at least serviceable shooters, then you completely neutralize the need for a center. Because the problem is right now, like, a lot of the rebounds, because we have no perimeter defense, so guys are just jacking up threes. So there's a lot of long rebounds, and we don't have the size to go up and get those rebounds. You have Patrick Beverley trying to out rebound against like a 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" dude. More times than not, you're going to lose those rebounding matches. And then having Myles Turner, what's the point of having 2 centers if you're not going to have them both down low? Like, when in the last like 10 years, when has 2 centers worked? It hasn't. The Warriors have just taken over this league the last handful of years, and they haven't even had a center. They've had Draymond and Pascal, and the last center they had was Andrew Bogut, right?
Yeah, so it's insane to say that you need a center. You need 2 centers no, it's insane. It's insane.
And then like, look at the Cavs. What did they do? Kevin Love became a wing player.
Yeah.
He became a 3-point shooter. He was completely neutralized. He went from being a 20-10 guy to being like a 12-5 guy when he was your best rebounder. But you needed him and Tristan Thompson down low, right? And so in a lot of cases they ended up moving Kevin Love to center, in playoff matches and stuff to kind of help mitigate that. Right. And then, I mean, even Toronto, like, they had Marc Gasol and they had a Serge Ibaka, but both of those guys were like, shooters. And Marc Gasol was like 40% from 3 that year. That dude was like lights out from 3 that year. And he was just so gifted and skilled around the rim. Ibaka was at that point was like a really good, floor spacer, could shoot the ball. But even they were clunky at times. You just had Kawhi Leonard in probably his best year in the league and like his healthiest and everything, and it just happened to work out. But outside of that, like the Bucks, they have Giannis and they have Brook Lopez, but for the most part, Brook Lopez is just used as a wing player. Right? I mean, he's just shooting from 3 the whole game. And you have Giannis, who's just like, he's the best player on the planet. Like, the guy can play pretty much whatever position. So it's a different type of luxury. I'm not saying it can't work. Of course it could work. And maybe it's great. My only problem is I think most people look at like, oh, this, and this can happen. And if that happens, then we're the best. And it's like, yeah, but you're not looking at the whole picture. Like, and from Rob's perspective, Rob has to take everything into account. He can't just take it he can't just look at it and go, yeah, man, if this works, we're the best team in the league. He has to look at it as like, well, what happens if it doesn't work? Like, what are the odds that this is perfect? Probably not. And Myles Turner, he's been injury prone. He's been good this season so far. So is AD. But in the past, he's been injury prone, and he's had trouble playing with other bigs in the past. So that's something. All of those things need to take into account. Again, I wouldn't be mad if that trade happened. I just think your biggest priority is to go get shooting and perimeter size, right? And then if you could get a center, sure. And if there isn't any wing and perimeter size, then sure, maybe go take a look at the Pacers deal again if you can. If they even would trade Myles Turner and Buddy Hield anymore. But personally, I would rather, in that case, I'd rather just go get Jakob Poeltl and Josh Richardson, because you could trade Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn, so you could keep Russ. You'd still have a first, maybe even two, but most likely you're probably gonna have to give up a first. But you could probably give up a top 10 protected first. Give up a top 10 protected first. Go get Jakob Poeltl. Go get Josh Richardson. Now you got a 3 and D wing. I mean, he's still 6'6", but it's better than a bunch of 6'1" guys, right? Yeah. So you get a guy with at least some size. And he has like a 7-foot wingspan or 6'10" wingspan, something like that. So he's got good length. He would kind of be like our KCP. He'd kind of be like our Caldwell Pope. So you got a guy, a perimeter guy, and then you get a center that can start, that can come off the bench, that you could run. He could play like 20 minutes, 25 minutes a game, and then you could run AD at the 4 in some cases. Start AD at the 5, do whatever. You could work it out, try. Maybe you do try, because here's the thing. You could try Jakob Poeltl and Anthony Davis at the 4 and 5 and see if it works. And if it works, great, right? If Anthony Davis can still be dominant with Yaka at the 5, perfect, good. But if it doesn't work, Jakob Poeltl isn't a guy that's going to say, no, you have to start me. No, I'm the guy. Where Myles Turner would. You don't think Myles Turner would just walk away and leave if they decided to bring him off the bench or something because it's not working, or there's a playoff game and they don't start him? Like that is something that he would absolutely.
Hey, Darvin got Russ to do it. He can get anybody to do it. That's all I gotta say about that.
I mean, there's a big difference. Like Myles Turner is like a really good production. He's like, you can make an argument he's at least a top 5 center in the league right now, and he's also young and he's going to get paid. Russ is a $47 million contract that was just a terrible, awkward fit last year that everyone's trying to trade and no one really wants. Russ doesn't have the luxury of saying no. Like Myles Turner could say no, leave the Lakers, and a team is going to sign him. That's probably like Russ. If he didn't like conform and say, okay, yeah, I'll do it, then he probably would have been out of the league.